For our first DIY today, we've got this cute little cosmetic bag from the Dollar Tree. It's pink and kind of a cream, and I thought that'd be really great to hold maybe makeup brushes or pens and pencils. And I thought I would make a really super cute Valentine gift with some vinyl on it. So I picked that up, and that was close to the register. And then I went to my Cricut Joy and cut out some heat transfer vinyl. And this says the things that I need. And I cut this out in as you could see, a red glitter HTV. And I cut it out in 2 different sizes so I could see what would work best. And they're pretty close in size. I think I like this one a little bit better. So we'll go ahead and use our Cricut, our little mini press, and we'll go ahead and heat that up to the second notch, which I believe is like 295 to, don't quote me, I want to say 325, something in there. So we'll wait on this to heat up, and then we'll go ahead and get this pressed. So you'll know that the heat press is ready when you see the green indicator lights, and just check your level, make sure that it's set at the right heat level for your project. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the heat transfer vinyl that I cut out, and I'm going to just center it on the bag. So here's the fun part of HTV. HTV not only requires heat, but it also requires pressure, okay? So for this, you don't have to use extra anything on the top. You could use like a Teflon covering or something like that. Or if you don't have that, you could even use like a washcloth or something if you don't want to do it directly on this and you think it might be too hot. But I've used this quite a bit, and I've used this HTV quite a bit. So I think we'll be good. Okay, now we got it. Everything looks kind of transparent, except maybe right there it's not as... But then we can peel it back. And there you go. Like I said, you could fill this with anything that you like. You can put your makeup in there, brushes, any medications you might have. For your monthlies, you know, can put some of that kind of stuff in here. So yeah, the things that I need. And we need a lot of things, don't we? Okay, and on to the next project. Our next project features a roll of this ribbon. It's actually like a faux leather ribbon. And I got this at Hobby Lobby for, let's see, it was about $4.99. And they have these in all different patterns and colors, and they have quite a selection. And I like to buy these when they're on sale for $2.50 a piece. So I kind of load up on these when they're on sale. But today we're going to be working with this checkerboard pattern. This is what it looks like when it comes on the roll. And you can kind of see the back side is kind of got a nap to it. It's a little fuzzy. And so I found these, and I started making about 6 months ago wristlets, you know, to hold your keys. And they're super easy to make. Basically, you can go on your Cricut, or you can use a Silhouette Cameo, which is what I used on these because I needed a deeper blade, and I was able to substitute a ratchet blade. And I think that the Cricut also has a deep housing blade also, but I just happened to have my Cameo out. So what I did is I went into the design program and I cut these. These are 1 inch by 11.5 inches. I found that 12 was a little too big. It kind of hung off the wrist too much, but the 11.5 was just perfect. So you want to go ahead and duplicate these so they're butted up right against each other, and it just saves your material, saves your product. So what you want to do first is, after you get them cut out and take them off of your mat, you're going to go ahead and find the center point, and you find that by obviously matching up the ends and then giving that just a little light fold. You don't have to press it with anything. Now this particular pattern, it does have plastic on the outside, so I would not recommend you doing heat transfer vinyl on this. You probably could, but you'd have to do it on your very lowest setting, and there's a good chance that the heat transfer vinyl will not stick to it because of the low setting. And then if you go too high, then the faux leather, which is really plastic, will probably melt. So we found the halfway point there. And then you're gonna need a specific tool, and I got this on Amazon, and I can't remember what it's called, but basically it crimps the hardware on to the end of your little wristlet here. And then you can buy a kit that has this and a package of these ends, and obviously these are the ends that you're going to crimp, and it's got the little key ring, and that's where you attach your keys. So the best part about this thing is you just want to make sure that you have it on straight. So what I like to do is I like to open up my tool, I insert the metal into it, and I come back a little bit. As you can see, there's a little space, so I've got a good grip on it. Now you don't want to grip it too tight right now because it will fly out, and you don't want that because then it's just wasting time. Now that you've got your end is matched up, and you're going to, I like to look at it from the side. So you're going to feed it in there, make sure that it's even right here, and on the other side you can kind of turn it and look over. Oh, now see, you can see there it was a little bit hanging over. So you kind of got to look and see if it's even or not. All right. This one's just a tad bit big. So all you do, once you get that done, and you know that it's in there straight, you're going to apply some light pressure, and you're going to feel it kind of give. So see how the teeth now have closed? Same thing on this side, the teeth have closed. So you can then pull your tool back a little bit, give it just a little bit more of a close, and then there you have it. There's your keychain liner. You just slip it on your hand like that and attach your keys. And that's it for our second project. For our final gift that we're going to be making today, we will need some kind of cutting machine. Today I'm using my Cricut Joy. I really enjoyed this. It's relatively simple. The software is really easy also to use. So I'd highly recommend this if you're just getting into using heat transfer vinyl and you're working on small projects and you want to start small. The Cricut Joy is perfect for that. So what we're going to do is I went ahead and opened up my Cricut design space, and I chose a font, and this font is called Beyond the Mountain, and you can download it at dafont.com for free. And so we're going to be cutting out names, and this is my daughter's name, and we're cutting it out in the heat transfer vinyl because we're going to be applying that to some bags that we got from the Dollar Tree. So I went ahead and got my name on there, and so I don't like all those spaces in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Actions, and then I'm going to go to Ungroup, and what that does is separates everything, and you can tap on it and then you can manipulate it. So see how that A, now I can move it around, right? So I'm going to move it over closer to the K because that's just the way I want it, and then I'm going to move the T over. And one thing I like about this, I don't know if you noticed when I moved it over, there was a yellow line, and the yellow line is telling you that it's level with the letter in front of it. And I really like that because I'm not always good at kind of eyeballing stuff on my own. Now, if I wanted to put it all the way over like that, I could do that too. Now I'm going to tap on the E, and I've selected the E, and it's independent, and I can move it over too. Now, if I wanted to touch, I could, but I don't think I want to. So let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks a little weird because the K feels like it's floating around over there. So I'm going to touch it, and I'm going to move it over just a little bit closer. Okay. All right, now I have my image. Now these are still all independent of each other, so we need to group this together. And to do that, you touch your screen and you drag a box over it like that. And then you want to press attach. So So now it's attaching the letters together, and then you want to press weld, and that just makes everything nice and straight so it's not goofy when it gets cut out, okay? So now we have this, and you can tell when you tap it that it is grouped because the box is all around it. So now we're going to get our mat ready. Okay, so I've got my vinyl on my mat, and I also have my image here, and now we're going to press Make It, and that is the little green round thing in the corner. Then a pop-up menu comes up that asks you if you want to do it without a mat, on a mat, or on a card mat. And since we're just doing this on a mat today, we're going to choose on mat. And then it's going to give you a visual of what it looks like, exactly what it's going to look like on the mat. Can you see it? Okay, so because of this image, it says it's going to be a little over 2 inches. So you really want to make sure that that is going to fit on your item. And this is the item that we're using today. These are treat sacks, and these are from the Dollar Tree, and there's 3 pieces in there, and they had ones that had red hearts and pink hearts, and I really like pink better, so I got a package of those. So now that we've got that cut out, we're going to go ahead and weed. Okay, so what you're going to do, this is 2 layers. So there's the vinyl layer, and then there's the shiny side and the not so shiny side. And so we're going to separate the 2 of these. Let's see if we can do this. This stuff is sliding up. So sometimes you gotta kind of get a little rough with it to get it started. And it also really depends on the vinyl that you're using too. Some vinyl just weeds better than others. I have really good luck with the brand Caesar, and that's what we're using right here. And you can see it's peeling up pretty easily. So we're just removing all that stuff around there, and I just kind of like pull it back and forth like right and left, and so it's, you know, doesn't pull on anything and destroy any cuts that you've already made. And then when you think you've got it in the right space, go ahead and grab your Cricut heat press. So it's one thing I do like about this. So we're going to go ahead and put this on there, and I'm going to press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to lift, and then I'm going to let that get a little bit cool. Not all the way cool, but, and then we're going to peel it off. And there is your bag. So instead of filling this with candy or little trinkets, I am going to go ahead and fill this with some of these Gain fireworks. And these are just scent booster tabs. And I really like these things. So what I've done is I've just went ahead and put that Gain fireworks, and I've probably put about 2 or 3 tablespoons in there. And cinched up the top. And then just tied a knot in it so we make sure that those beads don't fall out. And there you have your cute little sachet that's ready to go in your dresser drawers, or it can go in your car, underneath your seat, or anywhere that you need just a little hint of freshness. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed these 3 quick Valentine's Day gifts. And I hope you can join us again on the Crafty Kansan.